New stock to flow forecast puts average Bitcoin price at 288k by 2024. Team Draper doubles down on his 250k BTC prediction. Wallets holding 0.1 plus BTC hit all-time high as halving looms. 2 weeks and counting, experts warn Bitcoin halving may be a non-event. Tron dApps arrive on the Samsung App Store. Alpha testing blocks and the Qdo proof of the gameplay crypto reward system. Welcome back to CryptoWealthy channel, guys. In today's episode we're going to discuss a little bit about market news, what do we have in the crypto space, and we're going to go through all of these predictions and let's say funny stuff that people are discussing about Bitcoin price because the halving is upon us. And now let's begin. So, new stock to flow forecast puts average Bitcoin price at 288k by 2024. Introducing his latest revamp of the popular price model, analyst Plan B adds gold and silver and almost trebles his previous forecast. This time gold and silver joined in, combining with BTC to create the new BTC stock to flow cross asset model, or S2FX. Stock to flow calculates a value based on the supply of new Bitcoins entering circulation through mining versus the existing supply or stock. Now everything here is okay with those forecasts and it's cool, but listen guys, we need to have a demand for this sort of prices, and in order to get those sort of prices we need to have a big demand. Of course, this is very good that we are going to have halving and we're going to hit the 50% cut inflation rate, but also we do need to see the demand. Now, one of the reasons why I do believe that this could happen is because after this crisis, after some people realize how bad money actually is and how money is devaluing their wealth because it's not hard money, it's not good asset, let's say like that, or payment method, many of them will search a way to actually put aside some savings and also invest in such assets that are going to bring them more money, and one of them is going to be Bitcoin for sure. Not for a small group of people, I think for a lot of people, because whole world is coming into the crisis, financial crisis, and people are going to suffer financially, and I do believe that the Bitcoin could help them with that, especially if they go a little bit deeper to see why Bitcoin is good. And this is why I do recommend book Bitcoin Standard, so they could understand the whole situation about markets and about Bitcoin, what the Bitcoin is actually solving. Now, we're not going to stay too much over here and explain why and how, because there is a lot to explain, and if you want to read the whole news, you have this on Cointelegraph, and also I'm going to put on our Instagram page so you can check and read. Team Draper doubles down on his 250k BTC prediction. Again, a lot of big predictions, and I did notice that everybody are putting predictions whenever the Bitcoin is a little bit bullish, which is not good. They are hyping the space, and when people start buying, then somebody dumps and everything falls down apart. So let's just read what he has to say over here. Back in 2018, Team Draper made a bold public call that the price of Bitcoin would reach 250 by the end of 2022 or early 2023. As of today, he's sticking to it. That's my prediction, sticking with it. I'm very confident that that is going to happen. That's happening. It's kind of funny. All of a sudden, the retailers say, oh, you mean I don't have to pay 2.5 or 4% to the banks every time somebody swipes a credit card? Yeah, that's also one of the good example, but let's face it, Bitcoin is not here for payment methods, at least not on a big scale. It's more like a gold to save your wealth, to store your wealth, because we do know in 2017 how expensive transactions for the Bitcoin was. Some of them says it was $50 or $100 per one transaction, and also the network itself is pretty slow. So I do believe that the Bitcoin as a safe haven, as a gold, could have a pretty good use case there. I hope you agree with me. Let me know in the comment section down below, how would you use Bitcoin if that's the case actually. Wallets hodling 0.1 plus BTC hit all-time high as halving looms. news. Now, it's not a coincidence that we put all these news one beside another, because all of these news that we read could actually bring price to 2088k. So this is important to see that we have holders, that we have demand, and that we have stock to flow forecasts over here that is going to be from pretty good help when it comes to halving, to hit the miners with the 50% inflation rate cut, and also that could bring the price pretty high. But of course, we need to see big volume in the Bitcoin. We need to see a lot of demand in order to see such a prices, because as the price is rising, it needs even more money into market capitalization to bring the price up. You need to remember that. The number of addresses holding at least 0.1 Bitcoin has exceeded the 3 million mark for the first time as holders brace for the halving. On some sort of a way, I do understand this, and one of the reasons for that is if you didn't sell your Bitcoin at $20,000, there is no health sense over here to actually sell it right now on $7 or $8 or even $10,000. I would rather wait $20,000 or even zero than to just sell on $10,000, when we all know that many stuff are pointing out that the Bitcoin will have a future. So there is no common sense to actually sell Bitcoin right now, and this is the reason why we have this graph which is rising when it comes to the holders and the wallets that are holding still and not selling the Bitcoin. Analysts who adhere to the efficient markets hypothesis believe that the halving is already priced in. I do also believe, but we will see after the halving hits the road actually, and will not significantly affect the price. However, there are those who believe that markets are irrational and that the market dynamics is better described by behavioral economics instead. The field pioneered by Danny Kahneman, a psychologist who received a Nobel Prize in economics for his groundbreaking work. At least for the moment, the latter may have an upper hand. Hedge against fiat. Interestingly, even the halving of the price in Black Thursday has not slowed down the growth of addresses holding at least 0.1 BTC, while those holding 0.1 BTC cannot be identified as whales. This growth likely reflects the greater adoption and accumulation by retail investors. This is also very good to see and hear that the people are actually getting known with the Bitcoin, that people are not taking Bitcoin for granted, and the situation is getting more serious, and that will lead Bitcoin for the mass adoption, because many of, let's say, boomers does not like Bitcoin and make fun of the whole space, and in this case we are showing the opposite, which is pretty good. 2 weeks and counting. Experts warn Bitcoin halving may be a non-event. Again, I told you this is all connected with those news that we read, so it's very important to go through all of this. Of course, we're not going to read all of this, but we're going to read some statements over here. The halving has been on everyone's radar screen for a long time, and as such, the effect on markets should already be factored into the price of Bitcoin. The halving may affect the profitability of some miners, but we expect at this point that every miner has already made adjustments to their business model. We hope so also. We see demand in the form of increased utility for Bitcoin beyond financial speculation and a growing amount of institutional interest, while new markets for derivatives are increasingly driving prices. What's different this time is that there is no solid derivatives market, so the impact of miners accumulating might not be as strong as it was during the bull run in 2013 and 2017. Derivatives such as futures and perpetual swaps gives investors and miners the opportunity to hedge their holdings or bet on the future price path of Bitcoin, enabling fair price discovery. Correct. To answer the question over here, I do believe that this may be actually a non-event for the Bitcoin, and one of the reasons is that the halving will take effect after the halving actually happens, and I do believe we need a few months, even few months, to actually see such a prices. So we need to let Bitcoin do its thing. We need to see increase in demand. We need to see halving take place first, of course. Let Bitcoin have more time, see where this financial crisis is going, so we can say and we can predict actually that the Bitcoin will jump on again prices as 288, 250. I don't believe it's going to go so high, but I do believe that Bitcoin could easily reach $100,000, maybe $80,000. Who knows? We will see. This is just a prediction. You can't take them for granted, because that could be serious damage for your portfolio if you are investing by some predictions of some guy, right? One interesting news to be mentioned: Tron apps arrives on the Samsung App Store. This is also interesting to see giants getting into the crypto. Of course, I'm not a huge fan of Tron, but they are doing stuff and we need to mention them also. Tron is extending its ecosystem partnership with Samsung Blockchain as a new selection featuring some blockchain games will be offered on its mobile devices. This is also going to bring the mass adoption. We need to see also giants getting into the crypto, and I do believe the many institutional investors will invest not only in Bitcoin but in the good tokens and coins that are going to have a utility, especially those with the gaming, especially those with the smart contracts, with the like an Ethereum, where they can actually build the applications for their devices and so on and so on. So this is interesting to read. Also, you have this on the Cointelegraph. We're not going to read those news, as I told you. You can read this also on our Instagram page, where I'm uploading on pretty much daily basis, so you can follow us Instagram, TikTok and Twitter. One more interesting: alpha testing blocks and the Qdo proof of the gameplay crypto reward system. Cointelegraph alpha tests blocks, a cryptocurrency themed tower defense game demonstrating the upcoming Qdo proof of gameplay reward system for blockbusters. So Qdo brings interoperability to game credits, where players are rewarded for their time and performance while playing any game and then spend these earnings across all games as well. Blocks was created to be played by any gamer just for the fun of it, while its gameplay explains the basic mechanics of blockchain technology in a game-feel way. If after playing blocks the player becomes more informed and engaged with blockchain technology, we will be very happy. This is also a good way to bring more people and interest them in blockchain and crypto space in general. So this is in some sort of way also mass adoption news, because it will help a lot of people to learn about cryptocurrency and to learn about blockchain technology, which is also far away from those prices that has gold and stuff like that. So we are still industry in development, and we are pretty happy to be in early stages. And also I want to mention one news that is coming from Apollo currency. Actually, it's going to be, I think, built on blockchain technology of Apollo currency, and that game will take place in Africa. I think it's going to be pretty strategic game, which is going to be real time, and also it's going to be for Android, Windows and iOS. In game, actually, gameplay will be to mine gold wars, and like every strategic game. And when you mine those golds and other precious metals, you can sell for the stable coin, which is going to be backed up with the real gold, and you are going to literally mine like Bitcoin in 2009. So I do believe that game will hit the mainstream road as soon as it will be developed, and that will happen in a few weeks, maybe a month or two, and we will discuss about that in other videos. I want to discuss about that coin and their blockchain also. So make sure you hit subscribe and like button, because that company is bringing something very interesting and many other things in their roadmap, and things that are not on roadmap they're working on that are going to be insanely good. But I'm really glad to see that game out, because I'm going to play 24/7. So I do recommend you, it's free to play. I do recommend you to get ready and you to get in, because you can earn a lot of money. They're going to have two companies that are going to back up that gold, and they're going to invest over $10 billion just to mine that gold and God knows what not. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button here, because you are going to have updates about that also. I think this is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't forget, as I told you, to hit that like and subscribe button, because it really means to us to build up this channel for you. I want to thank each last one of you for watching our videos, ladies and gentlemen. As in always, till the next episode, happy trading and goodbye.